live from Indianapolis, Indiana. Welcome to the Crossroads Sports Radio Show, presented by Scott K. Nichols and State Farm Insurance. And now, here's your hosts, Brandon Reef and Jonathan Birdsong.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Crossroads Sports Radio, episode number 251. I'm your host, Brandon Reef. I'll be joined by my co-host here, Jonathan Birdsong, momentarily. Good show this evening. We've got basketball heavy, NBA playoffs. We'll be starting off. We've got the play-in games, the second set of the playoff games. The play-in games will be tonight. This basically is the loser leaves town match. We've got two of those tonight. We've got Bulls, Raptors, and we've got Pelicans and Oklahoma City Thunder tonight. Those two games will be this evening. We've got talks with the Indiana Pacers. Kevin Pritchard had his season-ending press conference. So did Rick Carlisle, and then we'll talk to them tonight. Other news and notes from around the NBA, the association, we'll talk that. Indianapolis Colts and the NBA and the NFL draft coming up soon, so we'll talk that. Take some calls as well this evening. My host, as always, Jonathan Birdsong, JB. How are you this week?
Man, hanging in there, man. Still looking for my dog, man.
Still looking. We're still looking, people.
Right, we're still looking. There's still a reward out. But, you know what I'm saying, all that aside, ready to talk some sports night, you know what I'm saying, sports tonight. I know we got to I know you went down the rundown. I know we got to I just want to chime in a little bit. I know we got to, you know what I'm saying, kind of go over the Masters, how that all kind of played out this past weekend.
Yep.
And like Brandon said, we're talking a little NFL, NBA playoffs, and NFL draft as well, man. So I can't wait to dive right in, man. Whatever you want to jump right into first.
Yeah, let's talk Masters. Let's do Masters. That way we can put a bow on that. The Masters this past weekend, you can call it 3-4 different courses that were playing conditions that we had this week, with great weather on Thursday and then rainy and windy and cold on Friday and Saturday. Saturday they had to cancel, and then you get up Sunday morning at 8, and you basically played damn near 30 holes of golf on Sunday for the championship. Brooks Koepka was your leader for basically all three rounds. Looked like he could do no wrong. Jokes aside about the live guys only playing 54 holes, Brooks fell apart. I won't say fell apart. Brooks just didn't finish on Sunday. Jon Rahm, who hung in there besides the four putt, basically four-putted on the first hole on Thursday. The old Jon Rahm would have probably collapsed there and been pissed off with his attitude and everything, and would have struggled the rest of the tournament. But Jon Rahm be able to pull it together, and the Spaniard was able to pick up his first green jacket on Sunday, pulling away in a going-away fashion, won by 4 strokes. Jon Rahm is your Masters champion. John, did you catch any of the Masters?
Yeah, I caught plenty of them, man. I also caught Saturday when the damn tree fell.
Yeah.
And that's crazy, man, because, correct me if I'm wrong, Brandon, you can't, like, to attend the Masters, you can't have your cell phone on you.
Correct.
Right? So, like, man, you know, like, nobody, I don't know, man. That's something you want to kind of catch on film or something like that, man. But, like, nah, man, the elements as it first started out wasn't necessarily, you know what I'm saying, in golfers' favor or the fans that were there in tennis' favor at all, right? But, like, no, man. I thought Colin Murray, I thought, you know what I'm saying, I didn't necessarily think he was going to win. You know what I'm saying, I'm always high on the youth, right? You know what I'm saying? But I didn't think he was going to win, but I think he showed, I thought he showed a pretty good showing this weekend. I was looking for George Spieth to be a riser, and that necessarily didn't happen.
Well, he did. He finished in top 5.
Well, I was thinking like win. Brandon, I'm sorry.
It was pretty much a 2-horse race for the most part.
Yeah, Brooks Koepka, man. What happened? I think, correct me if I'm wrong, man. You know what I'm saying? His putting just kind of went abysmal.
Yeah, he didn't make any putts.
I don't know if
Jon Rahm made some pressure putts, and Brooks really didn't just. You know, it's almost like he tried to just protect the lead, not try to attack it. And
right.
When you do that at Augusta, it doesn't bode well.
Yeah, it didn't. But you know what? Overall, the whole weekend didn't feel like a WCW versus WWF. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Those guys aren't our friends. You know what I'm saying? It didn't feel like that. You know, so great golf weekend. Jon Rahm becomes immortalized because like now he's like the first only European that's ever won the U.S. Open and the Masters. You know what I mean? So he has that added to his resume, man. So the Masters, man. Again, it's like would you call it the Super Bowl at all?
Yes, I would call that the Super Bowl of golf. Yes.
So yeah, man, Jon Rahm already. You know what I'm saying?
Rory did make the cut, just atrocious because Rory, you know, looking for that Grand Slam of victories and thought it could have been here and just pissed the bed. Really, just really bad. Didn't make the cut. Tiger Woods made the cut and then had to stop. And we knew Tiger looked bad. And when I told you before it, cold and rain does not do Tiger well. And that was what was the case. So Tiger's back out. And the crazy story, John, I don't know if you heard this, but Jason Day was telling it last year at the PGA Championship. Tiger, while playing, and you know his legs got like a bionic leg after his accident, a screw pierced through his skin and out of his foot during the round, which he played and finished before he withdrew in that tournament. But just a crazy story there. But Tiger withdrew. He'll probably be back. I don't think he'll be back for the PGA Championship, which is in about a month from now. Is the next major. But I do expect him at the U.S. Open, which will be in June. So looking at Tiger to come back there. But overall, John, Phil Mickelson stepped up. Phil had a great shot, 8 under in the final round to finish tied for second. It's kind of good to see old Phil come out there and play and be able to compete. Yeah, the live stuff, I don't really think there was too much. Sam Bennett, the amateur, going out there, first 3 rounds basically and hanging in there. First 2 rounds being the second place. Fell a little bit in the third, and then the 4th round it just kind of got to him as it would do for an amateur guy. But he went back to Texas A&M on Monday, and I don't know. He was supposed to play 36 holes in a tournament and carry his own bag Monday, so I don't know if he ended up doing that or not. But shout out to Sam Bennett from Texas A&M for him playing well. So this weekend's the RBC Heritage Classic. Typically, this tournament does not get any of the big golfers because they're just coming off of that major. And now, going before this season started, the PGA has made an exception and said this is one of the few tournaments that you have to play, and if you don't, you have a chance to be like lose out on money. And you're allowed to miss one of these tournaments a year. This would be Rory McIlroy's second tournament because he did withdraw. But the rest of the big name golfers, your Jon Rahms, your I won't say Brooks Koepka because he's in LIV, but your Jon Rahms and your other big PGA guys, Xander Schauffele, Colin Morikawa, those type of guys will be in this tournament this weekend. So, we got another great tournament with all the big names in there, basically. So
can't wait, man. Our eyes will be on it.
Shout out next week. We meet with Coach Mike Fleck, Ball State Golf. They're having a heck of a season so far.
Right.
They set their school record for score in the Butler Invite a couple weeks ago and got first place. So we'll catch Coach Fleck. He's been traveling up and down the United States, it seems like. I've been keeping an eye on it. So we'll see. I do need at some point check on Reggie Sykes' golf game because I'm not sure where he's at and how much he's been playing.
Oh, wow.
But we do need to check on that. I mean, I haven't got the call to play with him yet. I've played a few rounds myself, but I haven't got the call to play with him. So I don't know if my number's been lost or what. So we'll see on that. So, John, I want to switch gears. It's favorite time. One of my favorite times of the year. The NBA playoffs. And I got to stop there's where we get a copyright violation. We don't own the rights to that. But thank you, NBA, NBC. Shout out. NBA playoffs, John. starting up this coming weekend. We've had the play-in games. Play-in games started last night.
Mm-hmm.
The first one, hey,
Yeah.
I ain't mad to see the Miami Heat get that ass beat by the Atlanta Hawks. I'm just going to throw that out there right now. It was kind of in Miami, just a beat down in Miami. The Hawks win that one. Crazy game. It kind of seemed like every time the Heat tried to make a run, the Hawks had a counterpunch. Clint Capella, Trey Young, John Collins, and then on the late game, Lakers had to make a comeback. John, they made their comeback, and then Anthony Davis fouls at the end of regulation, gives Lawrence North product Mike Conley 3 free throws to tie it, go to overtime. Lakers somehow find their way to get the dub. Lakers will go and play Memphis in the first round. So thoughts on those two games last night?
Just that there's probably going to be a lot of change coming in Miami. I don't think a coaching change or anything like that. But think about it, man. Somebody brought to my attention. How long has Eric Spoelstra been in the front? I mean, is he working to be the next Jerry Sloan? He's been there a long time as the head coach. But I think there's going to be some change that's coming, turnover change coming with Miami. However far they might go or can't go. Just guys aren't. I mean, they're one of the worst 3-point shooting teams in the league. And in this league, you can't have that. I mean, I know teams still like to play inside out, and teams still like to have a good mid-range guy, and that's what the Miami Heat have in Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler. But these other guys, they have to shoot, and like they overpaid Duncan Robinson, right? And Tyler Hero, I know he's in and out of the lineup or whatnot, but again, that hasn't looked like what it's supposed to look like. So there's other pieces that we can kind of chip, chip it, and point the finger at. But no, man, the Miami Heat, that was a dud, man. Against the Atlanta Hawks team, like we should fear that, right? When it chips our line, man. So when you talk about the Lakers, if they didn't win that game, Brandon, I'd have been hugely disappointed, man, because Minnesota is a team of dysfunction. Minnesota.
Yeah, talk about that dysfunction a little bit.
Yeah, in Minnesota, it's debatable. Didn't they even have their full, arsenal of best players to have out there? I don't think Jaden McDaniel, he didn't play. Jaden McDaniel didn't play, and Rudy Gobert didn't play. So, again, no excuses, because they have youth on their side, the Minnesota Timberwolves versus like we can talk about against the Lakers, but just a lot of bad basketball on both sides I saw last night against Minnesota and the Lakers, and the Lakers just kind of squeaked it out because ultimately, I mean, they do have a closer in LeBron James, and he's gonna make the right pass. I mean, Darren Schroeder's not a chump, right? So again. But the Lakers, man, anybody think that the Lakers going to make some type of magical run? Now, again, they're playing another dysfunctional youthful team in Memphis. But if the Lakers can't figure out how to get offense like easy, even in this, Brandon, everybody knows how I'm super critical of this league and how like Olay defenses are. So if you can't get offense in this league, goodness gracious, right? But again. That series could go 6 games, and it shouldn't even go 6. Memphis should sweep the Lakers. They're that good, but they have deficiency because I don't think Steven Adams is not playing, and again, they still got some immaturity themselves.
How annoying is Rudy Gobert? I mean, first off, the whole situation that happened with COVID a couple years ago, and then him getting into it with Donovan Mitchell, and then basically Minnesota giving up every single asset to get this guy. And then in a game that does not matter because they're already set for the play-in, you get in a fight with your own teammate and in your team's biggest game of the year, you're sitting. You ain't playing. To me, I if you got to do, I mean, we may have to bring back the awards that we used to do, but we got to do scumbag of the year. I mean, Rudy Gobert's got to be leading candidate. Sorry,
man. Him and Ben Simmons gonna be playing on a team of two, man. Because
I think he's
Rudy Gobert, man. Like nobody and no real other teammate kind of like came to his aid or anything. And
I
that
think
whole
they
little
like him.
scuffle that he had with Ron Anderson, man. Like, what's going to happen to him? He's going to get traded again? No, man. They're kind of stuck with Rudy Gobert, to be honest with you. So
I don't even know why they
Minnesota,
traded for him when you have Cat.
Because you know what, Brandon? Okay, this newfangled NBA says that Karl Anthony Towns is a power forward and he should be taking outside shots.
Okay.
More outside shots than he's taking. Not and then let Rudy Gobert worry about all the interior problems, the rebounding and all that. That's what's the Pelicans gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about Zion. I mean, the dude just wants to make money.
It's disappointing.
He'll make money, but the dude ain't gonna play. Like, unbelievable. He's been out what for the hamstring since January?
It's disappointing, man. And I'm a Zion Williamson guy, man, and it's disappointing, man. You wonder what it is. Then why? If you can't play an 18-game schedule, son, don't come out of college, man. You should have stayed at Duke and been playing. He would have been a senior this year, right? I think he'd been a senior this year. They would have won it with him.
Yeah.
My goodness.
That's another one that baffles me with him.
Brandon, he plays about 30 games, man. He still thinks he's in college.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey, Mavericks wise, do you have a problem with what they did in contention for the thing? And the owner said, no, sit it out. That way we don't go to that spot and we lose that top whatever pick to the Knicks because it's protected.
Right. Their city should be on fire, right? Because wouldn't it like playoff implications?
Yeah.
Or wasn't no implication? No, man, their city should be on fire. And quite honestly, anybody I know the commissioner kind of chimed in and with the media or whatever, but like if the owners' heads ain't on fire, then you know what I'm saying, what's the fans supposed to do? What's the fans supposed to say? You know what I mean? I don't know, Brandon. It's not like don't be playing. We can't be playing like this lottery pick. Like let's play for lottery pick games, man. Playoffs is important.
Right? I didn't get it.
Order of important. Now if you are back 10, okay, I get it. If you are back 5, I get it. But if it's one game or a half game, man, nah, man, it's all hands on deck. Not we playing for the 10th pick. Who is he?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I just don't get it, John. To me, it makes zero sense. And, besides the draft, I won't say it makes zero sense. It makes some sense, but typically, if you can get in the playoffs,
I get tired
you get in the playoffs.
Brandon, I'm tired of Cuban. I'm tired of Cuban. I'm tired of Cuban.
Well, if he wants to donate to the show, Indiana alum.
He went to Indiana.
Yeah.
I didn't go to Indiana. I'm from Indiana. He should have went to Ball State. He should have followed David Letterman. He couldn't. That's probably why. Get up, sir.
Oh, wow. Already going hot. Indiana Pacers, before we go the rest of it real quick. Actually, you know what? We'll do Pacers after this. Denver Nuggets are your number one seed. Denver Nuggets are going to take on the winner of either the Timberwolves or whoever wins tonight's game. I don't think the Nuggets will have an issue advancing after that in that first round series. Suns and Clippers, I think, is going to be a great series, John. I'm looking forward to it. I do think the Suns just have too much firepower, especially with a questionable Paul George. I don't know if he's coming. I haven't seen anything if he's coming back or not, but KD's playing.
I haven't seen anything.
Right? KD playing, or is he out?
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything on that either.
I've seen Durant playing, but Paul George is no-go.
Hey, can I put my hot take to you?
Oh, man, here we go. It's going to be some Paul George shade.
No. It's going to be more towards KD. I had a dream the other night, and I woke up.
Mm-hmm.
It was about 4 a.m. or so I woke up, and I had a realization. Kevin Durant is never going to win another NBA title in his career.
Damn.
Never.
My goodness.
He had his 2. That's it. He ain't getting another one. It's a wrap. Sorry.
I can see that, man. Phoenix ain't winning.
I can too. I think that's why I had the dream. He's not going to win another one. Can't.
Phoenix ain't winning no chance. People gonna call you. I mean, I know the type of people on live right now losing their mind. If they aren't, man, they should call in at 929-477-3231. We'd love to hear from them. But Brandon just said Kevin Durant gonna never win another championship right now, and I'm agree with it. Because I've been saying this. Brandon's seen the light now. I've said it since we went to Brooklyn. I said it when he went to Brooklyn. We can roll the tape from from show 175.
Yeah.
But no, man. Once they hear this, Brandon, they're gonna lose their mind, man. Because people automatically believe that Phoenix is gonna win everything out west. And
I'll just double
Denver
down. I just put it on Twitter too. So it's John. It's not gonna happen, man. Look at that. Let's just look at him. It's not. Dude can't stay healthy for one.
Right.
He had his shot
And
to
you
get
worry
it in
about-
Brooklyn
and
when
you-
he had his foot
and
was
you
just a
need-
little bit too long.
And you need Chris Paul. And you need Chris Paul to be his old self too.
There's too many factors for that team. They have to play so many. They got to play so great, and it ain't going to happen. So, the next one, John, the Kings and the Warriors, the 3-seed Kings, the 6-seed Warriors.
My goodness.
I think this will go. Give me
Battle for California.
5 games. It'll go 5 games. Warriors win.
I got the Warriors winning because the Warriors, they love the Warriors down there in Sacramento. But Sacramento is thirsty for playoff basketball. And guess what? Sabonis, former Pacer, is now there, and they got playoff basketball, man. You know? So long as they don't, but here's what, Brandon, this is going to be some crazy-ass high-scoring game, man. Neither one of these teams get after it, man. Defensively, man. So we might see the average, we might see a 125 game.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
130, 135
I just
game
don't.
with these two teams.
And then the next one.
He's going to look like an all-star, though, playing against Golden State.
Nobody's giving the Kings a shot, right? I mean, the Warriors are still the Warriors.
The series, or to win a game. To win a game or to win 2 games.
It's funny because the series-wise, of the 4 series right now that had odds as of yesterday morning before the playing games, the Warriors were -290 to win the series over the Kings as a 6 seed. So I will say, John, and it's just because I'm looking at value. I did sprinkle some money on. I put 50.
Here you go.
I put $50 on the Warriors to win the NBA championship at plus 950.
Wow. From a 6 seed?
Yeah.
Wow.
Plus 950, John.
That ain't shit. Sorry, pardon my French.
That will get me.
You really don't believe in Kevin Durant, y'all? Y'all hear this?
No.
A 6 seed. Kevin Durant is playing with Devin Booker, Eraserhead from UK. Everybody knows this.
Stop it.
He might have had a couple good games. He had a couple good games. Who else is on that team? DeAndre Ayton. What has he shown us?
Hey, John, that $50 I put for the Warriors win the title. If they win the title, I win $525.
All right, man. There you go.
And what I will do, if I win, yeah, we looking at houses. If I win this bet and the Warriors, and hopefully it's beforehand, and then I'll hold my bet. If the Warriors win the title and I win this bet, and we get Dude back, the money from this payout at $525 will go towards the reward.
All right, man.
You hear it? That's what we'll do.
I hear it, man.
That's what we'll do.
There it is, man.
But, yeah, they're looking. I just think the Warriors are looking. Look at the Grizzlies and Lakers, John. I've gone back and forth. At first, I thought Lakers. They're going to get it. They'll win this series against the Grizz. Grizz have too much wildness, craziness going on. John Moran, Dylan Brooks talking his mess, and there's that video that keeps going around about the Lakers and the Grizz last time they played and pissing LeBron and AD off and whatnot. But the Grizz are just they're deeper. And yes, the problem is, can AD stay healthy in a best-of-7 series? That's my concern. He may play well in 2 games and then get hurt, and then that's a wrap. So I keep flip-flopping on this series back and forth. I can see both of them winning it. But I just think the Grizz probably get it done. It's crazy I'm saying that, but
Brandon, when did the Memphis Grizzlies go from that young team to everybody kind of, now they're a clown show, man? Did you see Desmond Bain? I'm sorry, Dylan Brooks?
Yeah.
What's going on here, man? This dude's out here walking around like Superfly.
Something, man.
You a free agent? You a free agent? And this is what you're doing? You got your hair out here pratt? You trying to win an NBA championship? Do you think Larry Bird, because Michael Jordan can't, you think Larry Bird would come to the daggone championship game with pressed hair?
Look,
it's almost a national embarrassment, man. I damn near sound like Whitlock now.
Oh,
and
no.
Could you believe it, Brandon?
Oh, no.
No, never.
You're
But I
dating
can't
yourself
believe
now.
it, man. The championship, this is supposed to be a championship contending team. Star player is got XYZ elemental P going on off court with criminal activity, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? The other ancillary pieces, they do their thing. They are some great. Bain is out here, you know what I'm saying? He's a good player. Tillman out here, he's a good player. But then they get into the other, like, clown, and they know ESPN is watching, then they want to start arguments and podcast wars with Draymond Green and now probably Crossroads Sports because I didn't call the dude out for having a daggone silky perm when he's probably supposed to think about focus on the game, man. We want you to focus on the game, man. I hope they listen. I hope you call Crossroads Sports out. Call us out. Because listen, I'm going to tell you about your game, man. Draymond Green's up here playing you for a fiddle, man, because he's already in your head.
Right.
What should be in your head with that, Jackson Jr. is probably potentially going to be, Jared Jackson Jr. probably potentially be Defensive Player of the Year. He doesn't seem like a me guy.
It ain't going to be Miles?
Stop it. Miles Turner, stop it. No, man, Jared Jackson Jr.
Don't take the bait. Don't take the bait.
Big Twin down here, and Big Twin up in Milwaukee. But, like, no, man, Memphis on paper should blow the Lakers out of the water. And it's probably going to go 7 games.
And who wins?
The King's going to put on his crown in Memphis. It's going to be incredible.
And we ain't talking about Martin Luther.
Roll over, Elvis. The King is coming. LeBron James is coming.
I know. As I said, we ain't talking Martin Luther or Elvis either. We talking the other king.
We're going to get in trouble. We're going to get banned in Memphis. Well, you know, Coach Katrina ain't done no more.
Wouldn't be the first time. I do want to talk odds, John. Series prices right now in the West. Suns are a minus 600 to beat the Clippers. So that's telling me that they're not expecting anything from Paul George. Minus 600. Warriors, I said, was minus 290. Give me a second, and I will get your other ones right now. Playoff series props. Playoff series. The Lakers are plus 120 to win the series. Memphis is minus 140. So you can get good money, plus money. You bet $10, you win 12 if you bet on the Lakers to win the series. I will say the Suns has went down. It was, when I wrote it down, minus 600. It's minus 525 now for Phoenix. The 76ers against Brooklyn, 76ers are minus 900. That has not changed. And then the Celtics are minus 1,000 against the Hawks. One series that I thought could be good, but I can see Cleveland knocking them off in 5 games. Cleveland, minus 200 against the Knicks. So as we look, John, on the east side, you got the Celtics, and they don't have the Bucks ones up, obviously, because of the thing. But you got, let's go Bucks. They're either going to take on the Heat or the Raptors or Bulls. We both don't see that being an issue. I think the Bucks easily get through there. Hawks and Celtics. Right. I think the Celtics. I got the Celtics in the NBA title. I got them in the Warriors again.
Ooh.
Rematch.
Well, I got the Celtics advancing over the Hawks, man. What a disappointing year again, and it should be for the Atlanta Hawks. They should be in the mention of, like, why aren't you continuing to be Eastern Conference champions? And they burned through, like, how many coaches to get to this point. So,
shout out Nate.
They are what they are. They're an offensive-minded team. There's going to be monumental changes with this team next year. If they win, if it's a gentleman's sweep, I wouldn't be surprised 4-1.
Okay. 76ers and Nets. Ben Simmons, well, even though he's out, Ben Simmons gets to play his old team, 76ers, even though he won't be there. Sixers should dominate this series. I'm calling. I won't say 4-0, but like you said, gentlemen sweep 4-1.
No, they should sweep the. I mean, it's no shame.
Come on, don't give Spencer Dinwiddie some shade. He may throw up 39 in a dub.
Nah, as far no, they should want to put away the Brooklyn Nets. Understand the Brooklyn Nets have a very good core of players. They just don't necessarily have a superstar on their roster right now. So they'll have a great best effort out of what's our guys, Miles Bridges and Cam Thomas. We'll see some good basketball out of some of those guys. Obviously, they're well coached by Jock Vaughn. Even if he did go to Kansas, you know what I'm saying? He spent all those years underneath Popovich, out there as a player, out there, and he worked his way out back to be, you know what I'm saying, a basketball coach. All the distractions are out of their way, you know what I'm saying? But again, man, they don't necessarily have enough to equate anything against Joel Embiid, who I think Brandon should be the MVP. If Joel Embiid doesn't have a stat line like this every night, and average like 40, 10, and 8, then something went wrong. So I'm taking Philly to sweep.
Okay. And then let's see. Thoughts on Cavs and Knicks?
Kind of depends on the health of Julius Randle. I thought he was in and out of lineup at the last couple of games.
Can Brunson get it done?
He can't. Brunson can get it done, man. There really shouldn't be any question mark, anybody questioning on can he get done. Can whoever he's running with, you know, can they hold to their end of the bargain? So it's good to have the Knicks back in the playoffs, right? And it's good, to, honestly, you know what I'm saying, to have Cleveland back in the playoffs as they are a team everybody kind of like peg as a super team, you know what I mean, whatever, when Donovan Mitchell went over there and some of the other pieces, because they're deep. Cleveland's deep. And that's probably what they have over the Knicks more so than anything. And that's no shade to what's his name, Quigley, who I think probably flirting around with Sixth Man of the Year. Again, man, the Knicks had a good year. This is a team. These are two teams that are kind of equally matched. It's kind of, for me, how far it goes depends on Julius Randle's health and his ability to stay on the floor. So I think Cleveland wins this game. Wins this series. Probably like in 6, Brandon.
Who, as of right now, April 12th, who do you like coming out of the West? Who do you like coming out of the East? And who is your champion as of right now before the playoffs start?
Coming out of the West, I'd say it's not out of the realm of the imagination that Golden State at the 6th seed, especially after we know they kind of not micromanaged, they've kind of injury managed their way, and Steph, Steph's gameplay and help Clay his gameplay as well. So we know the kid. I do believe he's back with the team. Back in Minnesota. I think he's back with the team. I read that report. I know I read it out. Shame on me. Wiggins, somebody Andrew Wiggins. He was a difference maker for sure for them last year. Offensively and defensively, especially on the defensive rebounding tip. There's no reason why, you know what I'm saying, we shouldn't think Golden State shouldn't come out the West. I got the Warriors I got the Warriors coming out of the West. I got them facing the Milwaukee Bucks, so long as Giannis stays healthy. The Bucks are the best team in the East. Period. I get it. The Boston. Well, I get it. Boston is right there. But listen, man, we got Jaylen Brown, and kind of as the team, looking at the mirror like, man, I want to be here, but I don't want to be here because y'all don't really y'all like him more than me. Like, and that's terrible, man. That's the real thing in this real culture right now, in the real sports culture of basketball. Like, people who cares, man? You just went to the finals.
The Warriors don't care. Look what they're doing.
Man, they worried about who's the team it is, man. I don't think Klay Thompson cares that it's the Splash Brothers. He doesn't care. He's got Subway commercials or commercials
Do you
too.
do you think it helped that he was out 2 years? I think so, a little bit.
No. Well, you talking about ego?
Yes.
Talking about what?
Yes, ego. Because he's like, man, I've been hurt 2 years. I'm just now getting back into it. Let me.
They never. You feel like heck.
Durant was more butthurt about being with them than
Durant, of course. He took off. They let him have more shots when they let Durant into the team. I don't know, Brandon. These guys got to think about winning is the most important.
Not anymore, John. That's old school basketball, man. No. Winning ain't the number one thing anymore.
Your brand is? Oh my goodness. Well,
yeah.
All right.
Let me give you some odds. Right now, the Bucks are the favorite to win the title at plus 265. The Celtics are second best at 325. The Phoenix Suns are third at 420, plus 420. The 76ers are at plus 900. And then fifth is the Warriors at plus 950. And then the number one seed Nuggets at plus 1100. Nobody believes in the Denver Nuggets. And then the Lakers just after them at plus 1800 to win the title. The Grizzlies are less than the Lakers, less likely. So we'll see. I'm excited. I've got the Warriors out of the West. I've got the Boston Celtics in a rematch, and I've got the Warriors winning the title, so I can make that $500 some that I can definitely use. So, Justin Powell asks, "Do the Suns have a shot?" Not with Kevin Durant on that team. No. I'm not gonna say they don't have a shot, but I'll repeat what I said. I had that dream, and I just put it on Twitter. So let the attackers. And I've already had 4 people like the tweet, so it means something. Kevin Durant will not win another NBA championship. Period. So whether it's on the Suns or not on the Suns, they will not win. I think, John, they were a better team without Durant when they had Mikal Bridges and all them. Just my opinion.
They were definitely deeper, and they definitely had a little bit more options. So, like, he's got to play. That's the biggest thing. It can't just be Kevin's got to score 27 points. Kevin got a rebound. Kevin has to make the right defensive plays. Kevin has to make the right defensive switches. That's what has to happen, in order for them to make their way through this Western Conference, playoffs.
Okay. Indiana Pacers, John. We'll go to the Pacers news. First off, I want to do so. The Pacers, John, screwed themselves once again, as they always seem to do for a draft pick. That they beat the Knicks when they didn't need to. Idiots. Lost themselves. Now they got to have a coin flip for the 7th spot with the Wizards, which we know how Indiana and coin flips go. That just never works out. So we'll see what happens there. But right now, John, the Pacers are slated as the 8th, 7 or 8 right now. They will be with the odds, whatever that'll end up being. Doug, we'll get to that. We got some NFL talk, so we'll definitely talk about the Lions. The lottery, John. You've got Victor Wembanyama, Scoot Henderson, Brandon Miller, the Thompson boys, Anthony Black, who just declared, these guys. So we're going to do we haven't done it in a while, our NBA Tankathon Pacers draft picks for this for the 2023 mock. So without further ado. Oh, we got the wrong one. We played the wrong. There we go. With the 9th pick, this is worst case scenario, the 9th pick in the 2023 NBA mock draft, the Indiana Pacers select Grady Dick from Kansas University.
I'll fall out. It will never happen. He'll never play a game with the Pacers.
I hope not. I really hope not. And then the 26th pick. The Indiana Pacers select Marcus Sasser from Houston.
I'm not gonna be mad at that. I'm not gonna be mad at that. That is still a very long term. I won't say project, but that would still be a player that would have to mature into his NBA, NBA body and NBA position. But no, that would be a very solid pick at pick 26, and I would not be mad at it. And defensively, if that were to happen, Brandon, that's what the Pacers would need, because let's just be honest, Pacers I think are top 4 and giving up points on the defensive side. So again, they would need a player like Southern for sure.
And with the 29th pick in the 2023 NBA mock draft, the Indiana Pacers select Trace Jackson Davis, Indiana University.
I'm not gonna lose my mind about that, Brandon. I ain't gonna lose my mind about that, man. Why not? Why not, man?
Yeah. I mean, it can't hurt, right? If it worked for Dale, it got to work for him. And then we'll do the last one. With the 32nd pick in the NBA draft, mock draft, the Indiana Pacers select Noah Clowney, the power forward from Alabama. I see a lot of bigs.
I'm not gonna lose my mind about that, man. I think probably what happens, Brandon, is that Kevin Pritchard probably tries to parlay at least 3 of these picks, and tries to improve the team.
Did you hear what he said in his press conference yesterday? He goes, "We're not in the area right now that we are going to go out and draft 5 young guys to this team," which should get Pacers fans excited.
I think they try to parlay some of these young guy picks and probably bring in somebody who's probably been in the league 2 or 3 seasons already and is mature enough to come and wants to win, doesn't want to ride the pine, and doesn't want to develop. And that's probably that's the kind of deal he's looking for.
Yeah.
Now, a particular name in mind, I don't have one just yet. But Brandon, if you told me, and I know you just said, "Hey man, just tell about your brand." If you told me the Pacers needed a wing guy that can play defense, and if you told me that Jaylen Brown was a little pissed off and didn't want to play for the Boston Celtics anymore, I would say Pacers, take all your picks, including your number 8, if that's what it is, or maybe it's number 7. Who knows how the pink balls take out till they take out. I'm saying, hey man, Jaylen Brown, do you want to come play for the Pacers? Because guess what, man, that kind of player, even if it's not Jaylen Brown, just think like that kind of player, maybe it's Tyrese Maxey. You know what I'm saying? Those kind of players kind of change the direction of his life, and they go. Now you're talking playoffs instead of, oh man, we gotta wait 2 more seasons to get into a May postseason.
Yeah, hell, I mean, sneaky.
Would
John.
Would you send pick 7? You send that. You trade straight Jaylen Brown. Everybody would.
Yeah, but how does that mesh with Tyrese? Because you don't want to mess that up.
This is true. But I don't want to take pick 7 and Tim Hardaway Jr. I love.
And I don't even know if we're going to re-sign Buddy Hield. He was kind of mum on that when asked.
Well, hey man, you want to talk about his press conference?
Yeah.
Was it a press conference or was it tell the team listening to him? Because I'm about to say everybody's name on the radio. They need to hear their name. They need to hear their name cascade through the airwaves, man. Because I didn't know what it was, man. I thought it was somewhat informative. I thought it was also somewhat. He's not telling you the truth. He's telling you what he wants you to hear.
Right.
And
sounded like he wanted OG Anunoby before the trade deadline, and that kind of fell through.
Yeah.
And then he also wanted my guy Mikal Bridges.
So he's trying. He ain't necessarily trying what everybody else is thinking.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody else is thinking like, man, I can't get Kevin Durant. Well, nah, man. You need to be thinking about Miles Bridges, because like Miles Bridges would be a nice name too to come here to the Pacers as well, man. Hey man, I don't want to be super negative, man. There was some positives out of his presser. I don't necessarily like. Hey man, he just gassed up the players real hard, gassing them up, man. I was like, oh my god,
gets their trade value up.
Needs to work for Shell. He needs to work for Shell, but no, man, I do like him coming on because all general managers don't do that and share their visions. I mean, the coach general manager, he comes on there now and then, but not to this level. I think he gave a lot. He gave the media a lot. He really did. Kevin Pritchard did. And that's just, like I said, and it was really like if you're smart, Mark, like me and Brandon, there's a lot of nuggets that he shared, and you should, like, as a Pacer fan, you should ultimately should like where the Pacers are going direction wise. It's just that can he land all these, even these maybe promises, make conversations. That is the most intriguing part of what I thought from his interview.
Okay. And then the last one, just for shits and giggles.
Oh my God, he's still drafting.
With the 47th pick in the mock draft, the Los Angeles Lakers select Zach Edey, Purdue University. John, what did you take from his tweet? Like, it wasn't I'm staying. It's not a I'm going. There's work to be done. The work's just getting started.
Maybe he's coaching, man. I don't know. I didn't get it.
Can you off the record? We need to get Coach Brantley. We need to find out what his thoughts are.
Wow.
Is he staying? Is he going? We need to know. But here's my thing: when's the last time a National Player of the Year, a Wooden Award winner, and there's no news on it from the media whatsoever? Anybody else right now, it'd be SportsCenter lead story every single day until a decision was made.
Right. I guess, Brandon, it's kind of because the ever-changing landscape of how teams build their NBA rosters, man. A 7-foot guy like that used to be like, oh, Bill slam dunk, man. He's going to be number 3. Even if it's Sean Bradley, people will take a chance on him. And, like, now they're even saying, like, the NIL money is kind of funny on him coming back. Like, nobody's really going to, you know what I'm saying, nobody's really, you know what I'm saying, showing him the jackpot of NIL money, man. Dude, I would just assume at that point that you become a professional basketball player. You can hire an agent if he hasn't already hired one. And as you know, there's more than just the NBA in the world of basketball. And there's, you know what I'm saying, and I think there's also, Brandon, with his skill set, I think there might be a short-term NBA contract for him. But this sit back and forth between college and this Twitter, I don't know, man. I think he's coming pro, man. There's no way he's coming back.
Brandon Newman's going into the portal, leaving Purdue, and then there's rumors going around right now that Cannon Catchings, Tamika Catchings' nephew, is there's not. It's just rumored, but is decommitting from Purdue. He's completely wiped his Instagram of everything Purdue. That would be huge.
That's not a good sign.
That's not a good sign.
Right.
They did get Purdue did get a guy from who did Purdue just get? They just got a guy.
They just got a portal guy, did they not?
Yeah, give me a second. I had his name written down. Why is it not on here?
Going to say
Lance Jones from Southern Illinois.
Okay, 14, he's real close. They just got him, huh?
14 points a game. Yeah, wow. He's going to be brought in mainly for defense. He's a defensive guy, so defensive guard. So it looks like they'll bring him in for that. So we'll see what happens there. John, switching gears to the NFL, and I'm excited because It's that time of the year where on Facebook, our Facebook page, we get to start seeing Jonathan Birdsong's NFL draft breakdowns for picks, players.
Goodness.
I'm excited to see it this year.
Yeah.
The latest mock
Don't
draft, John, that I have here. C.J. Stroud, number 1 to the Panthers.
What? No way.
Bryce Young to the Texans. Will Anderson to the Cardinals. And Anthony Richardson to the Indianapolis Colts.
Okay.
Your thoughts?
Okay. My thoughts, and when you look at it like that, again, then if I'm Ballard, then I'm taking phone calls to see who wanted to pick at pick 4. Because we're not picking Anthony Richardson at pick 4. That's a little bit of a stretch.
I don't even think you could take Will Levis at 4. Neither one.
Will Levis had a good junior campaign. He remembers Kentucky in 2020 and Kentucky 2021. Will Levis is also a transfer from Penn State. He kind of like got this factor where people want to put him in the Joe Burrow class. Hey man, he didn't work out up here and he came down here. But guess what, man? Will Levis didn't win that championship with Kentucky like Joe Burrow did with LSU. So, but he did have a good transition from Penn State to Kentucky, except for this past season. This past season, it was, I don't know why he didn't come back to school. He said go pro. Oh my goodness! But he's been on different. People see the potential there. Brandon, again, you can potentially. There was rumor about somebody making a deal in Arizona from Tennessee, and I was like, how can Tennessee do it and deal with again to make a move up to make a quarterback when they did the same thing last year? That would be cool. It's foolish, but here we are. You're trying to recover from mistakes. Here's what I say, Brandon. If that is what he gets, the temperature in the room, that Arizona takes a defensive guy, right, at pick 3, whether it be Jalen Carter or Will Anderson. I'll put both those things out there. They're the 2 best guys, defensive guys, in the top 10, right? I would say, Brandon, if he knows that's going to happen, then he should be answering whoever called to split his pick so he can trade down. Maybe Seattle wants to move up.
This mock has Will Levis going at 7 to the Raiders.
I wouldn't lose my mind about that. Let you know what I'm saying? Maybe he knows, the Evil Empire knows a little bit more something about Will Levis. Maybe they got a lot more time to develop Will Levis, man. The Colts kind of want to jump. Colts have a running back that's ready to run tomorrow. The Colts offensive line, once we hope 100% healthy, is ready to block and run, for this tomorrow. The Colts is not necessarily running. The fan base anyway is ready for Will Levis to kind of trot out there. It looked good against. We tied the two strings together, man. It looked great. No, man. Anthony Richardson, it can look dynamic, but again, Brandon, you talking about something that's got to be developed, man. And that's a different conversation that you got to have with your fan base.
Can I ask you a hypothetical?
But from a drafting standpoint, again, I think you can get those names a little bit further down, and you can also probably get the coach. Brandon, we also dancing around. I'm dancing around the other problem. The Colts need more offensive weapons, tight ends. They do. They really need another. I was praising offensive line, but they really need another offensive tackle. They do.
Uh-huh.
A starting left tackle for damn sure. So think about if everything kind of like you said goes to play, Brandon. Pick 4 might be. Do you want it? Because you don't want to pick those guys at pick 4.
Is there a chance? Because I heard this on NFL radio, Sirius XM the other day. Is there a chance that the Houston Texans look at this draft and they say, you know what? The quarterback crew for next year looks a little bit better than this. We like it better next year than this year. let's pass on a quarterback. Is there a chance Stroud or Young could drop to the Colts at 4 if the Texans say, you know what, let's use this pick on another player, maybe Will Anderson at defense, and then let's tank again and get a good quarterback next year's thing? Is it possible?
Nah, I don't think that's the case, man. I'd imagine if they really, if Texas really had wanted the number 1 overall, they probably would have parlayed pick 2 and pick 12 to move up to number 1. But then again, if you have both these quarterbacks, Stroud and Young, a 1A and 1B, as most people have on their draft boards, man. I think they're fine with picking.
If you're the Colts, you cannot be comfortable, even if, say, the Texans go Will Anderson, and Bryce Young or Stroud is there. The Colts can't be comfortable because you got to guarantee how many teams are going to be calling Arizona to say, what do we need to get this pick right now, even while they're on the clock.
Man. You okay, man, but Arizona's not going to trade with Seattle, right? So, Detroit, they might.
The Raiders, they could.
Detroit,
the Falcons, they could, even though they have Ritter.
Yeah, but you're not worried about it. You're not necessarily. If nobody's in your division is going to do it, make a deal with them. Don't worry about it. I would say, Brandon, honestly.
Okay.
Will Levis talent, Anthony Richards talent down the road. Next year, you're right. You're absolutely right. Everybody knows. This is what Chris Ballard knows. He's why he's not losing his mind about pick 4. Hopefully, he's telling. And then the owner told Jim Irsay told everybody here in the Circle City that I'm not losing my mind about Lamar Jackson. So I think they're gonna make the business decision, whether that's trade down or probably picking the best player that's there. Okay. Just Brandon, if Will Anderson's the best player, ain't Ed Rusher kind of a problem for the coach too? And then you address quarterback, and I said, maybe you take Will Anderson, the edge rusher from Alabama, at pick 4. Maybe you address
the city will burn down. As much as they've talked about quarterback.
But Hendon Hooker will be there. Hendon Hooker will be there in the second round.
That's not what the
my guy, Max Duggan, will be there. He'll be in the third round.
That's not what they want, John. Not what they want.
They didn't want to win too.
Packers still sitting steady, holding Aaron Rodgers. They want a second-round pick this year's draft and a first-round pick in next year's draft from the Jets for Aaron Rodgers.
Why don't they just trade Zach Wilson too? I don't understand why this is being held up. The Jets said they wanted to do a deal. Aaron Rodgers went on Jeopardy and said he wanted to do a deal. They made it all open, lovey-dovey. Now everybody got told me when it's time to put the ring on the finger.
Yeah, except for Aaron. Everybody but Aaron.
Everybody but Aaron, man. Hey, man. Hey, Green Bay is like we're rolling with love out here. If that don't work, guess what? We're gonna suck so bad that we're gonna be in another spot to pick a good quarterback from the collegiate rank. If love doesn't work, so I don't know. What is the Jets waiting on, Christian?
I don't know. Just to give fans a little bit of an insight, DraftKings Sportsbook has prop bets right now for draft positions for certain players. Anthony Richardson, the over-under is 4.5 for the draft position. It's minus 130 for him to be under 4.5, which means Vegas believes that Anthony Richardson will be a Colt at pick 4. Will Levis is a draft.
Call me a lie.
Will Levis is a favorite to go over 6.5.
Really?
So right now they're saying Vegas is saying Anthony Richardson to the Colts.
Will Levis' talent level and potential talent level. Well, we know Chicago's not going to take him at pick 9, right? We know Chicago's not going to take him at pick 9. Maybe Atlanta. takes him, but I think Atlanta probably plugs up their defense, and if Nolan Smith is there, they take Nolan Smith. But again, it's Atlanta. They might do something kooky. It'd be a stretch to take what's the kid's name from Ohio State? Jackson.
Smith,
Smith,
yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
It'd be a stretch to take him in the top 10. Yeah, it'd be. Man, I think he's probably the best wideout in this draft. But Atlanta needs to draft quarterback. The Raiders need to draft quarterback.
The one draft prospect got hurt. He was in a car wreck.
Oh my goodness, man. I can see. I don't know. I don't know, man. I can see somebody. The only thing I can see moving up, maybe, like I said, would be Seattle.
Yep. And they have a draft bet of who would be drafted who would be drafted first, Anthony Richardson or Will Levis. Anthony Richardson is the heavy favorite at -200.
I wonder who is the surprise. Like, hey, man, nobody kind of will see this coming. If you ask me that, I'm gonna say Washington. Because again, man, they're picking around pick 16. You know, what they got to lose? What they got to lose is they pick, you know what I'm saying, try to move up and try to get in the top 5 and give away their first and then they turn around. I think they don't have a second round because they got 4 by the coach.
You keep talking about Hendon Hooker. What about the Colts going out and getting your boy Stetson Bennett?
Stetson Bennett?
Yeah.
Could be a Colt.
You don't. Do you really draft? Let me ask you this, and I want you to be real with me. And I know you've kind of limited your fandom with the Colts as of the last few years. Be honest with me, and I've asked Colts fans this, and they won't answer it truthfully, and they won't. Do you really trust? Can you really go out there and trust any of these 3 or top 4 quarterbacks, 5 quarterbacks to lead your team? I don't see it.
For next year?
For the future. None of them. Zero.
I know I made a joke a couple weeks ago.
This will be the weakest quarterback class in the history of the NFL. You watch.
You don't.
Another hot take.
Disappointed that CJ Stroud. Are you that disappointed that CJ Stroud didn't beat Michigan because all his other games?
No, I'm not.
I'm the one that points that out because that's the truth. And we all know Jim Harbaugh runs a pretty damn good defense. He does, right? And CJ Stroud was befuddled by it. Befuddled. Hey man, there's a lot of tape. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that can implement, copycat what Michigan does any given Sunday. So again, that's the question mark with me. Bryce Young. Like he was a small guy when he was winning national championships. Nobody said that. Nobody said he was an itty bitty guy, Ant-Man. Nobody said that.
No.
Now all of a sudden he's getting ready to make a jump, and now all of a sudden he should have never been playing for Alabama.
No. I'm just saying I don't trust any of these 4 quarterbacks to lead my franchise into the future. I'm sorry, I just don't. I would rather take a chance on next year's draft class for quarterbacks
no.
instead of this year's. Let's be honest. Colts fans, you got to be honest with yourselves. You can't go out there this year and think that you got a great chance. At this point, I'm not. Are you better off with Gardner Minshew? Are you better off with Minshew this year?
Ooh. Don't say that, man. Those are hurtful things.
I have to put it out there. I have to ask
you. Nobody likes that. You hear that?
I know. Let the hate mail start.
It puts you like in what? How many games did that put you in? 6 game win? Another 6-7 win team?
Yeah.
Maybe. Nobody wants to go through that again.
Well,
man.
even before the draft, Vegas already has the Colts at 6.5. So. What are you giving up?
Gardner Minshew.
But do you trust any of these quarterbacks? You still didn't answer my question. Can you really trust any of these 4 quarterbacks?
I would be if I was picking number 1. I would be feeling pretty good.
That's the
really
only
would.
way I feel like the Colts would get cold feet and don't feel like they can do anything with this class of quarterbacks, that they would go out and, even though they said they're not, they would kick the tires and get Lamar Jackson. That's the only way, is if they get gun shy and say, you know what? Chris goes, God damn, I don't think either of these guys are going to pan out. I don't think they're going to pan out. I think our best option right now is
But the Ravens, you want Lamar out of the division. The Ravens want too much for Lamar.
Well, then Vegas odds, John, DraftKings Vegas odds right now say if not Baltimore Ravens, for which team will Lamar Jackson takes his next snap next year, the heavy favorite is the Indianapolis Colts.
Mm-hmm. To get Lamar Jackson?
Yeah. Yeah. So it goes Colts, Falcons, Commanders. So, I look at these quarterbacks. Could it be Bryce Young? Could it be C.J. Stroud for a Colts? And you'd be like, okay, possibly. They could have a okay career if you're looking for just okay. Anthony Richardson. I keep coming back to him at Florida. We saw what he did at Florida. All right. What we've seen on tape, what we've seen at the combine, all that's no defense, right? We're going to be bigger and faster guys on the field now. I just think Colts fans are going to be disappointed with that. And I think Will Levis has got the arm.
Yeah.
He could.
The accuracy is not there, man.
It's not. So I don't know, John.
He probably fit Shane Steichen most recent, you know what I'm saying, what he's kind of, you know what I mean, the kind of athlete and kind of core mobile quarterback that he's used to. But understand that comparing this kid to Jalen Hurts, it's like, nah, kid, you'd have to go back to school again, like, you know what I'm saying, to finish your 2 years left. You know what I'm saying? This kid has a lot of wiggle as far as his mobility is concerned, and there's a lot of wiggle as far as, like you said, the player is concerned. It's that the accuracy is not there. And again, Florida, it's a down year. Well, a part of that reason, Brandon, and you correct me if I'm wrong, a part of the reason why the Florida last year was down is because of him. I don't want to hear, well, XYZ is not here and the coach didn't do. No, Florida is listen, they are what they are. They keep them coming. In 1 year, out the next. Of NFL, high-level football players. He's one of them. And they had a lackluster year because of him. I'm sorry. So, with that being said, how's that supposed to get better? It can be if it, granted, if it's on a clipboard and it's learning, and it's adjusting and it's learning at the speed of the game, because, like, you're asking that kid to, like, level up right now, and, like, they didn't even win the SEC. They weren't in the top 4 of the SEC.
Yeah. Listen, man, you're preaching at the choir.
That's what you practice. Back in the day, Brandon, yep, that's what draft him and he'll sit for 2 years, and then we'll bring him out. But the coach, we don't remember, how far are we back from that? We don't do that anymore. Quarterback is out there. Zach Wilson was out there, feast or famine. Get out! Oh man, he can't throw no more. Oh my goodness, get the backup out here. But the rookie, like, you know what I'm saying, we're guys, rookie students. It's not anymore. That doesn't happen anymore. Get them out there, and that's what happening now. So I'll just be cautious of that.
Okay. Let me ask you this. So I got one of my buddies commented, if he doesn't win it this year, I think if he doesn't this year, I think he loses in the finals against Giannis. But I may have to pick Phoenix. He tried to mush my pick, but I just don't. I don't see it for KD. I really don't, and I don't see it for the Colts. You can call me bitter old man this week, but I feel like I'm having premonitions lately, and I'm I'm seeing the board clearly, I feel. So we'll see what happens with that moving forward. What else you got, John? You got anything?
Nah, man, all I had this evening, man.
Hey, shout out the
NBA
Fever.
Talk. Oh, man, dude, they got a star.
2.
Didn't they?
2 of them.
Well, I'm just talking about. Well, no, Berger from Indiana. I don't want to say that too, man, because he's the Hooper.
Yeah.
As well, man. And they need to must down a little bit. But like Leah Boston is already on Good Morning America. She was on Good Morning America yesterday.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? She killed an interview with I listened to like early in the morning with Jake Query.
Yep.
And
she was on,
at 10:70. She killed that.
It was the freshman game show.
Right, and then she went and did Good Morning America, man, and which was crazy. Here's what I got away from it, man. And I know me and Brandon don't talk a whole hell of a lot about women's basketball, but we talk about women's basketball more than probably any other podcast, right? Here's what I'll say about this, man. What she was saying did not sound like a slogan, did not sound like – it sounded like she's ready to come in and play basketball, her style of basketball, which is interior, you know what I'm saying, crashing the boards and being, you know what I'm saying, a presence in the center. And she wasn't really saying like, I'm not being cocky, but wasn't really saying she's here to acquiesce to any other veteran. You know what I mean? The Fever won a championship how many moves ago, and like the culture of winning hasn't necessarily been around since. So at least you have that kind of going for you. When you have, like, again, you got, hey, Indiana, you got a superstar media person. ABC loves her. They love her, dude. And like I said, local media was speeding it up because she was hitting all kind of marks for them. Like Jay Query and them thought they could get her, man. It's like, nah, dude. Like I think she's definitely never a slam dunk right there to having her number one overall. But I really hope the community embraces her. And I hope, you know what I'm saying, I wish nothing but the best for her. And, like, you know what I'm saying, the Fever, you know what I'm saying, win some games. And we're talking more, like, about Fever going into a postseason.
I agree. I want them to tank one more year so they can get either Caitlin Clark or Paige Berger from UConn. Do whatever you got to do to get it.
Oh, my God.
Today, John, in the history of sports, which I need to start doing that every show, a little history. Because what we're here, we're here to educate and entertain. Is that what Jake Query says on his show? Educate and entertain. So we need to start educating our fans, our loyal listeners. Today, Wednesday, April 12th, in the history of sports, in 1877, John, a catcher's mask was used for the first time in a baseball game by James Alexander Tigan. And then also 2004, Barry Bonds hit his 660th home run to tie Willie Mays.
2004?
2004, Barry Bonds. What's your thoughts on baseball so far, real quick? Rays are undefeated, and they still don't have anybody going to their games, which is baffling to me. We're about to be 11-0. Nobody goes to their games. The quick pitch is crazy because we're getting people getting called balls and outs and all this during the games, and it's wild.
Mm-hmm.
But even though it makes the games a hell of a lot more enjoyable to watch. So I do like that. My Reds are almost dead, but not completely dead. And yeah, it's baseball season. Long way to go, but it's looking good so far from what I've seen.
Right, yeah, absolutely, man. It's a long way to go. I think some of the prior teams have yet to like officially kind of wake up. It's gonna be real odd if Tampa Bay kind of runs away with this and their fan base kind of like finally wakes up in this mid-season. But we all know there's 100 plus X amount of games left, so the Tampa Bay win streak could easily go south, man. But I hope it doesn't, man. You know what I mean? I hope it doesn't, man. Brandon, Midwest baseball, Cincinnati, let's pray for them.
Trouble.
The Cubs, let's pray for them. Cleveland, let's pray for them, right? The White Sox, I don't even know where the White Sox are at right now, but
shame on you.
I haven't heard too much, but I haven't heard too much negativity about from the fan base anyway about some of the new rules and what they in the pitch clock. I haven't heard anything about that. I'm pretty sure the commercial, the TV people are happy because then they can run X amount. They know they can run X amount of commercial time. They can charge X amount of commercial time. So it's just an adjustment that the players offense are going to have to make. So you got to break a couple of eggs.
Okay. Perfect. Well, I don't have anything else, John. If you want to thank our sponsors, sorry, we've got some audio loss. I got to re-download and reassess, put the audio clips for the sponsorships in because it's something messed up on the program, so I have to kind of get that reset. So if you want to thank our sponsors, John, and then I'll let you kind of go through and close us out, give you a little spiel and close us.
Oh, absolutely, man. Just want to thank Washington Logistics, Scott K. Nichols, State Farm Insurance, Mavericks Custom Motorsports. Man, how can we do Crossroads Sports without them? Man, like I said, man, couldn't do Crossroads Sports without them, man. Brandon, get the audio adjusted, man, so we don't have to be doing bumping over, sponsorships, man. So no, man, I want to thank everybody who kind of chimed in as well on the Facebook Live. I know we had some calls coming. This is kind of a little bit of a short show. Not a whole heck of a lot of information, sports anyway, kind of going on right now, right, with the close of the college basketball season and there's no football right now. There's a lot of we could have talked a little portal, There's a lot of portal stuff kind of going on right now. I think Caleb Love actually made it to Michigan. He's going to Caleb Love transfer from North Carolina to Michigan. IU got a couple guys from the portal. I don't necessarily. You're not gonna lose your mind over from where they came from.
The fan base is the fat men wearing the candy stripes around the city of Indianapolis are losing their minds on it.
Nah, man, slow down, man. Slow down there in Broad Ripple, man. Anyway, so but there's some portal guys that just kind of made their way to ESPN around, and then there's some more guys that still kind of out there with a man with no home. So. And I think the kid from Michigan, my gosh, Hunter Dickinson, still hasn't selected a team just yet. So still that's all those things will be developing. We'll probably chime in a little bit more about them even next week, man. I haven't been on our socials as I should, man. Obviously, still looking for my dog. Blah 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 blah. Everybody knows this. If you find a black poodle and it looks like my dog, give me a call. Everybody knows that information, man. But outside of that, man, I want to say thank you to everybody who kind of helped pull all that together. And at some point, I'll make an official conversation. It won't be part of Crossroads Sports, but again, thank you to all those people involved. Brandon Reef, we got a special guest next week with Coach Ball State golf coach Mike Fleck. He's one of our favorite guys, man, to bring on, man. Dude's been there for 25 years at Ball State University, man. So it's gonna be great to deep dive again, and not only the world golf with Coach Fleck, but also, the world that is Ball State that everybody doesn't necessarily know about. Me and Brandon know about it because we are alumni, man. So again, I hope everybody will kind of join us next week. Outside of that, Brandon, I want to say thanks to everybody for listening.
Thanks for listening to the Crossroads Sports Radio Show.